All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. I'm over here live at the a segment of the Great Wall of China. Um, and I'm a little tired from climbing it. I've been hiking for a long time, but I'm going to stop here. I found a good spot to stop, and I'm going to read to you the Ho Shih Jade, which is story, I believe, story number 4. We're already on story number 4 of the Qilin Purse, and this one is called the Ho Shih Jade. Probably one of the more complex stories. They're all pretty simple stories, but this one might be a little more complex, but I think you guys will do just fine. All right, so this is the Ho Shih Jade. During the period of the warring states, the kings of China made war on one another, fighting for power and land. When tired of fighting, they would send envoys to negotiate a settlement. These negotiations were sometimes called tongue wars. At one time, there were 7 states: Qian, Chu, Qi, Yan, Han, Wei, and Chao. Qin was the strongest, while Chao was the weakest. The king of Chao had a chamberlain named Miao Hassin. One day, Miao Hassin bought a jade stone from a stranger for 500 liang of gold. When he asked a jade expert to appraise it, he was told that it was the famous Ho Shih Jade, named after Pian Ho, the man who discovered it. This jade was the rarest kind of precious stone in the world. In the dark, it was luminous. Indoors, it would keep a room warm in winter and cool in summer and repel insects. The jade expert advised Miao Hassin to keep the jade in a safe place so that it would not be stolen. The king of Chao somehow heard about the jade and asked Miao Hassin to show it to him. Miao Hassin feared that once the king saw the jade, he would want it. So he planned to take the jade and run away. But one of Miao Hassin's house guests, a man named Lin Shangju, advised him not to do so, saying that he would be asking for trouble. He persuaded Miao Hassin to offer the jade to the king as a national treasure. Miao Hassin followed his advice. The king was delighted and promoted Miao Hassin to a very high position. Miao Hassin then realized that Lin Shangju had been very wise, so he entrusted him with other important matters. Okay, so this is more a story about Lin Shangju and how he's very wise. This is kind of his story. Sometime later, when the jade expert went to the state of Qin to set some jade stones, he told the king of Qin about the Ho Shih Jade. Remember, Qin is the strongest, Chao is the weakest of the states. And he told this guy, the jade expert, told the king of Qin about the Ho Shih Jade and its unique features. The king of Qin, who was a very ambitious and greedy man, wanted the jade for himself. He gathered his officials and asked them how he could take the jade away from the state of Chao. Chao's the weakest state, remember. His uncle and prime minister, Hui Zhang, suggested that he offer 15 cities in the Yuyang area in exchange for the jade. What? Cried the king of Qin. Is such a jade worth 15 cities? Only a fool would do that. We would not be making the offer in earnest, meaning they're not serious about the offer, said Wei Zhang. The king of Chao has always been afraid of us because he fears that we are going to invade his state. Therefore, if we offer to exchange 15 cities for the jade, he would not dare refuse. Once the jade is here, we can keep it. We will not give him the 15 cities. Would he dare to ask for them? Okay, so they're setting him up here. This is a scam. The king of Qin thought this was a good idea. So he sent an envoy, a group of people, to the king of Chao with a letter offering 15 cities in the Yuyang area for the jade. As expected, this offer worried the king of Chao. He knew that if he sent the jade to the king of Qin, He would not get the 15 cities in return, and yet he did not dare refuse the offer for fear that the king of Qin would declare war on the state of Chao. So he summoned his high officials to court. What are we going to do? The high officials offered all kinds of advice, but they could not agree on anything. One official then suggested that the king send a wise and brave man to the state of Qin as his envoy. If the king of Qin really signed over the deeds of the 15 cities to Chao, then the envoy should leave the jade there. If not, he should bring the jade back. The king of Chao liked that idea, but he didn't know whom to send. He looked from one official to another, but they all lowered their heads and did not say a word. Then Mayao Hassin, remember he's the guy that had the jade in the first place, he's speaking up now, stepped forward and said, I have a house guest, Lin Shangju, who's the one that told him, give it to the king of Chao. He is both wise and brave. If Ta Wang appoints him envoy, I am sure he will be able to accomplish the task successfully. So the king of Chao summoned Lin Shangju to the palace. He was delighted to find Lin Shangju an unusually intelligent man. But to make sure that he was capable of undertaking the task, the king asked, the king of Qin has offered to exchange 15 cities for the Ho Shih Jade. Do you think that I should accept his offer? Qin is strong and Chao is weak, said Lin Shangju. It would not be wise for Ta Wang to turn down the offer. If the king of Qin takes the jade but does not give us the cities, what should we do? Asked the king of Chao, testing him further. The king of Qin is offering a high price for the jade, said Lin Shangju. If we do not accept the offer, it will make us look very bad. If we present the jade to the king of Qin before he gives us 15 cities, it will show that we are sincere and courteous. If the king of Qin denies us the 15 cities when he has the jade in his hand, he will be in the wrong. Lin Shangju paused, waiting to see the king's reaction. I plan to send an envoy to the state of Qin with the jade. Whom do you think I should send? Asked the king of Chao. I would be honored to go. If the king of Qin signs over to us the 15 cities, I will leave the jade with him. Otherwise, your lowly servant will bring the jade safely back to Ta Wang. Lin Shangju replied with confidence. The king of Chao was pleased and appointed Lin Shangju his envoy. Lin Shangju then laid out his plan in detail. After several days of preparation, including a 5-day fast and a solemn farewell ceremony, Lin Shangju took the Ho Shih Jade and set out for Shenyang, the capital of Qin, accompanied only by a guard. When the king of Qin heard that an envoy from Chao was coming with the jade, he was overjoyed. Seated on his throne and flanked by his officials, he summoned Lin Shangju to the palace as soon as he arrived. With his head bowed, Lin Shangju approached the throne carrying a box that held the jade. He opened the box, took out the silk pouch that protected the jade, and offered it to the king of Qin. The king opened the pouch and carefully removed its contents. Immaculate, the stone gleamed in his hands. It was truly a rare treasure. After examining the jade, the king passed it on to his officials, who immediately congratulated him for securing such a priceless gem. They shouted, "May Ta Wang live 10,000 years!" The king of Qin then ordered his servant to take the jade to his wives and concubines and show it to them. Lin Shangju waited for a long time, but the jade was not returned to the king's table. Seeing that the king mentioned nothing about the 15 cities, Lin Shangju said, "There is a flaw in the jade. Please allow me to show it to Ta Wang." The king quickly ordered his servants to bring the jade back to Lin Shangju. Once the jade was in Lin Shangju's hands, he took several steps backward until he was very close to a pillar. Then he said angrily to the king, "This jade is one of the most precious treasures in the world." Ta Wang wrote to the king of Chao offering 15 cities for the jade. His Majesty discussed the proposal with his officials, who felt it might be a ploy and tried to dissuade him from accepting the offer. But I argued that because Ta Wang is such a powerful king, there is no reason to doubt his sincerity. My king followed my advice and sent me here with the jade. This shows how sincere he is. On the other hand, when Ta Wang took the jade from my hands, he did not even rise from his throne. Then Ta Wang showed the jade not only to his subjects, but also to his wives and concubines. This is an insult to the precious jade. In addition, Ta Wang never mentioned the 15 cities he had previously promised. It proves that Ta Wang has no real intention of exchanging 15 cities for the jade. I am going to take the jade back to my king. The bold Ling Shangju then pointed to the pillar. If Ta Wang tries to take the jade from me by force, I will smash it and then my head on this pillar. We will both be destroyed, but Ta Wang will not get the jade either. He raised the jade as if ready to carry out his threat. Don't do it, cried the king of Qin. I won't fail your king. He ordered one of his officials to bring a map. The map was placed on the table, and the king of Qin pointed out 15 cities to Lin Shangju. Suspecting the king of playing another trick, Lin Shangju said to him, in order to please Ta Wang, His Majesty the King of Chao was willing to relinquish the jade. Before I left, he fasted for 5 days and summoned all his officials to see the jade off in a solemn ceremony. Ta Wang should follow his example, fast for 5 days, and receive the jade in a ceremony where envoys from other states are present. If Ta Wang refuses, I would rather die than turn over the jade to Ta Wang. Seeing how determined Lin Shangju was, the king of Qin thought that it would be best to go along with his demands. He ordered a fast for 5 days and sent Lin Shangju back to his lodgings. But Lin Shangju was afraid that the king of Qin might still have other tricks to play, so he ordered his guard to disguise himself as a poor man, tie the bag that contained the jade around his waist, and return to Chao. He also wrote a letter to the king of Chao saying that he was sending his guard back with the jade, while he himself was staying behind to deal with the king of Qin. The king of Qin did not fast at all. You know, fast when you don't eat. You're fasting. He ordered his servants to decorate the palace and prepare many expensive gifts. Envoys from every state were invited to witness the ceremony. When they had all arrived, the king of Qin summoned his official of protocol to escort Lin Shangju to the throne room. Lin Shangju walked up to the king and bowed. Seeing that Lin Shangju was empty-handed, the king said, "I have fasted for 5 days and am ready to receive the jade. Where is it?" Lin Shangju replied, "Since King Mu's reign, there have been 20 kings in the state of Qin, and all were treacherous and dishonest. Ta Wang has a similar reputation. For fear of being cheated and unable to fulfill my king's task, I ordered my guard to take the jade back to my king. For this, I deserve death. Please, do with me whatever Ta Wang pleases." He bent his head and waited. The king of Qin was furious. "You blamed me for not showing enough respect for the jade. I followed your advice and met your demands, and yet you sent the jade back to Chao. You have cheated me. I am going to kill you." He ordered his guards to bind Lin Shangju with ropes. Lin Shangju did not resist. "Ta Wang should listen to what I have to say. If my words do not satisfy him, it will not be too late to kill me." "Speak," said the king of Qin impatiently. "Qin is strong and Chao is weak. The state of Chao cannot afford to make an enemy of the state of Qin. If Ta Wang really wants to exchange 15 cities for the jade, Why not send an envoy with me to Chao, with the deed to the cities? When our king has the deed in his hands, he would not dare to keep the jade from Ta Wang. I know that I have offended Ta Wang and deserve death, so I have already informed my king that I may not return alive. Ta Wang might as well throw me into a cauldron of boiling oil so that all the kings will know that Ta Wang killed the envoy of Chao in his effort to possess the Ho Shih Jade. Let them decide who is right and who is wrong. The king of Qin and his officials looked at one another without a word. All the envoys from the other states knew how cruel a man the king of Qin was and feared for Lin Shangju's life. Wei Jian, the king's uncle, quickly walked up to his nephew and whispered in his ear, I don't think it is wise to kill Lin Shangju now. It will not only ruin our reputation, but also make the state of Chao our enemy. It would be better to let him go. The king nodded his head. As the soldiers started to take Lin Shangju away, the king began to laugh. Oh, wait, he said as he turned to Lin Shangju. I was only testing your courage. I wanted to see what kind of person you really are and how you would react in the face of death. It seems to me now that you are really a brave man. The king of Chao is lucky to have you as his envoy. No, I am not going to kill you. So instead of executing Lin Shangju, the king entertained him with a banquet and sent him back home. The king of Chao was so pleased with Lin Shangju's courage and ingenuity that he appointed him one of the highest ranking officials. The king of Qin never gave the king of Chao the 15 cities he had promised. So, of course, he never got the jade. Okay, there you go. That was that story. I think the Ho Shih Jade will make another appearance maybe in tomorrow's story, but we will talk further about that then. So anyway, that was just all about a deal. You know, I'll give you this, the Ho Shih Jade, you give me the 15 cities. Well, it didn't work out. It didn't work out, but Ling Shangju was very clever, very brave, and it worked out in his favor. The state of Chao, the weakest state, got to keep the jade for now. Okay, well, with that, I better hike out of here and because it's getting a little foggy. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow or Monday or whatever day it is that comes next. Okay, all right, take care.